Welcome, one and all. This is the 12th man here on TTT. Yes, anyway. All right, so there's a lot going on, but of course, there's Champions League football that took place. All the teams that were expected to win, some didn't, obviously. We know that Manchester City, they ended up drawing their game. Liverpool ended up losing their match as well. And Real Madrid, they won their game after losing by 5 goals. They know they collected 3 from Arsenal last season. Now they get 5 from Atletico Madrid. I don't know what's going on there anyway. So maybe there is indeed more than 2 teams in Spain. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona, who lost in the Champions League yesterday by 2 goals to 1. That's in terms of what's happening in the Champions League. Bayern Munich continue to win as expected. PSG was the team that defeated Barcelona. I should tell you, PSG played without 4 of their regular star players, but they still won by 2 goals to 1 against Barcelona. All right. Now, moving on in terms of England. In England, Liverpool continue to lead from Arsenal, who are in second position. Over in Italy, it's AC Milan. AC Milan, a lot of people forgot about AC Milan, but they're back in the reckoning for now. Napoli is close up, so too Juventus, and Inter Milan, who would have done so well last season, they are down in 5th position. Bayern Munich continue to lead as expected, and PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, continue to lead, even though they would have lost a game against Marseille, but they continue to lead nevertheless in terms of France. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to Europe, we're going to Italy, we are also going to Spain, and we are going to London. Only one London team, and that's where we're going. We'll be back.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. You feel it in the air. Football, football, football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people, I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
Water and food supplies are of major importance in the event of a hurricane or any pending disaster. Have enough canned food and drink to last at least 2 to 4 days. Make sure you have a non-electric can opener. Basic foods to store in waterproof containers should include crackers or cookies, peanut butter, jams or jellies, pasteurized milk in paper packaging or cans, dried fruit and packaged nuts and shells, canned meat and fish, vegetables, fruits and soups.
This message, courtesy TTT Limited.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the 12th man here on TTT. Remember, there's a 12th man hotline number you can call and leave your messages for the guests that we have. It's 684-3324. 684-3324. Leave your messages and we'll read your WhatsApp message a little bit later in the program. As I mentioned, we've got from Arsenal here, Brian Lewis joins us. Brian, a good victory for Arsenal, coming from behind in a game where many thought they would have lost against Newcastle. 2 late goals. What are your thoughts? In terms of this, it now means that Arsenal, because Liverpool would have lost, have closed the gap to 2 points.
Well, yeah, I don't get excited about Ortega and Arsenal in September, because it's also always faster to receive when it started to get cold and, maybe playing that same Newcastle side in December, but I mean, it's something to get excited about, I suppose, but I don't really get excited. I'm not
what gets Brian Lewis excited?
No, well, besides my wife, but
that was a politically good answer. Particularly because he didn't drive himself here. She drove him. I think she had to come back for it, right? You understand, Win?
No,
all right, but go ahead.
What do you expect me to say after
I didn't want to know. I can tell you. It's 39? 39?
Yeah, 39.
And it's still excited?
Yeah, I mean.
I'm just making sure. Right.
No, Ortega 1 minute, playing a little more direct and he seems to always be fishing. I
don't like him anyway.
You don't have a clear sense of how you want to play the game.
I think he tried to adapt to different teams.
I just say not that you ever mind, but you have a very transactional, performative approach to the football. So they did well. I mean, what was surprising, let me just be a good Arsenal fan, is about the win, is the fact that they appeared to play to the end, which is a Liverpool trademark, right? For example, because a side like Liverpool, Liverpool and the old Manchester United under Ferguson, the other way, they play to the end. So if you feel leading 2-0 down to the very end, come the 88th, 89th minute extra time, you could get loose. So that was heartening, but I know that everybody feel that Newcastle is just it now, but to me Newcastle is still Newcastle,
Yeah, but they had a good season. They had a good season last year.
You don't take a box. Unfortunately, I apologize to all the Newcastle fans.
Not much, but yeah.
But Newcastle has never really...
trade on the big anyway.
I mean, I'm wrong with saying that in Newcastle.
No. Newcastle really good in their home games. They have a loud, gaudies crowd and make a lot of noise. They have real fans, crazy fans at times. All right, let's talk to Nikolai. Nikolai supports Real Madrid on the back of a 5-2 loss. Sorry. Wait, that was in the league. What happened there, Nikolai? And again, welcome.
Thank you. I think coming off the first loss of the season, first of all, against a strong Atletico Madrid team, I'm looking at Xavi's approach, and in the games leading up to it, I realized he would rotate the side ever so often, rotate the squad. So I think it's a fault on his part by rotating the squad in a big game like this, from a winning and very hard-working performing team from the weeks before. But that's the football. Football is played on the day. So, I mean, a 5-2 from Atletico is a hard stab in the chest, must admit. But coming off the back of a 5-0 victory in the Champions League this week.
Against who again?
I can't remember.
Yeah, because nobody knows that team actually.
It doesn't, I mean,
it's a very small team.
It's a small team, but 3 points along the road,
You can't remember your name. Okay. How long have you been a Real Madrid supporter?
Probably 50. I was young, probably 15, 20 years. No, I lie. I'm 29 this year. So, yeah, probably I've done 20 years.
You're only 29?
Yeah, this year.
All right, that's making sure. But anyway, tell us why you became a Real Madrid supporter.
I became a football supporter through playing FIFA with my uncle.
Okay.
So just trying out different teams and getting in love with the sport through FIFA, and then eventually watching football with him. And he would have watched Manchester City play often, so I would have started off in the English Premier League watching football. But through the football, getting to know players like Beckham and so on. I used to watch La Liga growing up. So that's how I ended up with my love for Real Madrid specifically.
Never wanted to change?
Not necessarily, no.
No, but not necessarily doesn't mean no, eh?
I mean, I would watch other teams and support other teams in other leagues, but Real Madrid would be my main team. Yeah.
What happened last season to Real Madrid in the Champions League?
Last season we were under Ancelotti. Now, Champions League is our tournament, right? No, you can't win it all.
Yeah, you have 15 titles, yes. So it is yours.
I didn't fix my jersey.
I'm just checking it already.
Yeah, I feel something.
Good.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think things is reached a point where the time is up, and Ancelotti didn't really necessarily have a playing style per se. You raise the eyebrow, you send some men on the field, you say, they enjoy themselves, and they win a game, or they win the Champions League. So it was a tough tournament for us last season, but we're looking to get back into this season with Xavi Alonso in charge of things.
All right. Let's talk to the man whose team was in the finals of the Champions League last season. They actually defeated Barcelona to get to the finals. Okay, say it again. They actually defeated Barcelona. I know you didn't hear me correctly. I want to make sure. To get to the finals. It's, of course, Andre Suklal supported Inter Milan. Andre, first of all, that final, what went wrong?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me back.
Yes, sure.
Listen, a lot of Inter Milan fans after the game, we were traumatized. We still have PTSD. Being an Inter Milan fan, I always say this all the times I come on the show. We always have, Inter Milan is a difficult team to support. You need some real backbone, as you say in Trinidad and Tobago, to support them. But they just, throughout the season, even last time we spoke about it, around January,
go ahead.
They ran out of gas.
Right.
And, fitness-wise, they were struggling. There was a team that Inzaghi was trying to rotate the players. And they were limping. Even at Barcelona performance, we were shocked that they managed to get that sort of performance out of those players. And I don't know if eventually they did run out of gas in the end. But the performance in the final was unacceptable by Inter Milan standards, because these guys, I'm not saying they were going to win, but the way how they just conceded goals easily, and it didn't seem to have they couldn't put passes together. I mean, kudos to PSG, they played well, but it seems as if they used all their energy on that Barcelona game, and then there was supposedly a situation with Inzaghi agreeing to go Saudi Arabia. Al Hilal before the Champions League final, and the players found out, which I think is a terrible excuse.
Right.
But it was tough. Even the Inter Milan, we had a whole 2-hour discussion after, all of us trying to figure out what went wrong.
Well, they talked for 2 hours after the game?
Yeah, we were traumatized. Our support group.
2 hours, you say, no?
Because
but where could I say good? Only goal of the game.
Yeah, we couldn't say anything. We were just traumatized, and kudos to PSG again. We've been gracious. But it was terrible. It was terrible.
This season, new coach, what do you expect?
This season, with Kivu, totally different coach. He's still using the same formation Inzaghi did, but it's a little more attacking. He's not afraid to maybe concede goals because, they have an up and down form so far. They started off with a 5-0, then they they lost to Juventus. So they had 2 losses already with 5th in the table. But he wants to play a bit more attacking football. Clearly, he doesn't mind conceding some goals. Inzaghi was defense first and counter-attack, but we'll see how it goes. Kivu is a young-ish coach, so it's a to-be-determined situation right now.
All right. Remember, we're going to take a short break. The number is the 12-man hotline number is 684-3324. 684-3324. Take a short break. We'll be back.
Now listen, this is your boy Carlos Edwards, and as a former player, let me tell you, it's the fans, man. The fans that made the game, that's the 12th man right there. And when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago, there's only one 12th man you need to know. My guy, Andre L. Baptiste on TTT, is bringing the heat every Tuesday.
Sometimes you just want a little something, a little crunch, a little bite. That's what this episode of Carrie's Kitchen is all about. So feed your family something special on movie night, or chef it up and impress the crowd with tasty finger food. Make it flavorful and feast-worthy. Be sure to check us out this Wednesday at 8 p.m. right here on TTT and TTT Live online.
Carrie's Kitchen, powered by Food Hall. grocery made greater. Ibis, a tradition of excellence, Caribbean flavors. In the heart of every kitchen. Lotus, the confidence to create. Correga Garden Supplies, good and natural. Indie, spice up your life. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Champion, always a winner. Distributed by Edward B.B. Harry. Lion, the power behind our great taste traditions. Excellent Stores Limited. Live, create, do. The Atlantic hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
For those with babies, children, and the elderly, advanced planning can be important. Double check your baby supplies and stock up on non-perishable items, diapers, wet wipes, medication, canned or bottled baby food, basic toiletries, soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toilet paper, paper towels. Also, you should have these stocked: disinfectant, bleach, insecticide, candles, matches, wind-up or battery-powered clock and charcoal for outdoor use.
This message, courtesy TTT Limited.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news. News in real time. TTT News, nightly at 6. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Welcome back. Remember the number to call? Let's put the number up on the screen. Pay attention. I hope they're paying attention and put the number up on the screen. Put the number up on the screen and pay attention. 684-3324. 12-man WhatsApp number. You can call and you get to talk to Brian Lewis about Arsenal. You get to talk to Nikolai about why he still supports Real Madrid after they collected 3 goals from Arsenal last season and they don't like Rice anymore. You can also talk to the Inter Milan man who suffered at the hand of PSG. That's Andre Suklal. All right, let's go. Question number 1, brought to you by Coca-Cola. If you are allowed to change the name of a TV series to adapt to an opposing team, which would you choose? All right, so okay, I understand. You're changing the name of a TV series. They change the name to adapt to a team, an opposing team. Which opposing team you don't like? So instead of Game of Thrones, it's Game of Throw-ins. All right, I understand what they're saying. Stranger to the Wind. This is Keeping Up with the Kardashians. All right, okay. Wheel of Misfortune. Can't Score Investigation. So in other words, the Walking Reds. All right. All right. So okay. So basically, what they're saying is these are all TV series. They've changed the names and put in some football logo on it. But they want you to say which one would you choose for a team you don't like, an opposing team, right? All right. Lingo. Yes. Yeah. Lingo. Right. I'll start with the Walking Reds. I started with the Walking Reds and I just talked to Carlos. But anyway, let me go. All right, then let's go. Can't Score Investigation, Wheel of Fortune. Let's go. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Stranger to Winds, or Game of Throw-ins. Which one would you choose, Andre Suklad, and which team would you put it on?
For the team I dislike.
Yes, it had to be a team I dislike.
Yeah, so it had to be Juventus, for sure. What was the one investigations? That was
embassy can't score investigation.
So I mean, there's always something suspicious with them. If they score a goal, there's always some controversial thing, or they're disallowing something. So that'll be my
can't score investigation. Yeah. All right. Let me hear Nikolai.
This has to be from La Liga.
No. Doesn't have to be La Liga. Doesn't have to be. Could be any team you want.
I would pick Spurs.
Tottenham Hotspur.
For Stranger to the Winds.
Wow! But did that win the Europa League?
For the first time.
Yeah. All right. Tottenham Hotspur, Stranger to the Winds. Which team you don't like? Which is the team you don't like? First thing about team you don't like.
But it's obvious as an Arsenal fan, Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Right.
But which one of them you want to put for Manchester United then?
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Keeping up with the Kardashians for Manchester, all the rich guys in Manchester.
Because all that fluff and all that, now, all Manchester United.
All right.
I said a fluff and gallery.
Fluffy Manchester United. That's the new name of Manchester United tonight. If you're a Manchester United supporter, you're fluffy. Brian Lewis said that earlier, not me. All right, let me go.
Excuses. You know
Question number 2, getting brought to you by Coca-Cola. How do you convince your family member to support your team? A, I don't. They are blight. Okay. B, a dinner or 2. A lot of hugs and kisses. Constantly let them watch matches, I presume, of your team. Pray with them. Offer them an incentive or 2. Okay, so this is how do you convince a member of your family to support your team. You offer them incentive. You say some prayers with them. You constantly let them watch matches, I presume, of your team playing. Here's a hugger and a kisser. So you do a lot of hugs and kisses. You take them out for dinner or 2. Okay, maybe, or 2 dinners, I guess. Or you don't want them because they're blight. Nikolai, let me start with you.
All right, so I have a brother, and he's a Barcelona fan, so I don't want him. He blight. He blight. I don't want him.
How that happen? Because they say, so he support Barcelona and you support Real Madrid. Do you all watch games together?
Sometimes. It's a healthy rivalry.
So do you all watch it when they play the El Clasico together?
Yeah, most times. If we miss a game or 2, by the time I reach home, if we win, hopefully.
So your brothers are black because you support Barcelona?
Correct is right.
All right.
However, the rest of my family, now where I live, it will be to watch the games.
Yes.
Because anywhere you go in my place, especially in the living room, is a Real Madrid banner here, a Real Madrid sign here.
Yeah, Real Madrid all over?
All over. Yeah, you can't get away from it.
Right.
So you had to watch the game.
All right. Man, say, yeah, Real Madrid all over, yes. Brian, how do you convince your family member? Well, you weren't able to do that because your son support AC Milan.
Right, so that's what I'm going to tell you.
So you fail?
I had to try prayers. Because
no, you fail. You fail because he supports AC Milan.
That's right, he's not moving. As a matter of fact, you can't get him to support too much the English league. He's in Syria. And then my wife and daughter, Sandra and Sanya, and them, they're just not interested. So if I even attempt that,
you had to pray.
I had to get prayers.
Yeah, prayers, all right. So, he said prayers. All right, Andre?
So I could boast a little bit. Thankfully, I didn't have to convince my family they like the team I like.
Okay.
But the 1 or 2 that's give a little trouble.
Inter Milan?
Yeah.
How you get to like Inter Milan?
Yeah, it's the whole family history thing. Long story. But the 1 or 2 little cousins that little wayward and nieces and nephews and things, as they come and sit down and get them to watch the games, and I said, well,
and after they watch the game, they still want to support you?
Not really. It's a work in progress. The incentives don't work at all, so I have to try to brainwash them out a bit. But then when they lose to PSG, that's not helping. So.
It didn't help. All right, nothing wrong with that. Let's go. Question number 3, brought to you by Coca-Cola. All right, let's go to this question. All right. If your team is losing, how do you react? Annoyed? You be brave and watch the whole game? You change the channel? Okay. You take off the TV and put it on and off. You mash up the TV basically, right? You go and sleep and hope for a miracle. Or you go for a drive or a walk. All right, so which one is it? Do you go for a drive or a walk? You go and sleep and hope when you get up from the sleep that the team succeeds. You take off the TV and you put it on and off. You change the channel, or you be brave and watch, or you're annoyed. Brian?
Take off the TV and pray for a miracle, especially with Arsenal, especially in the cold winter times.
So you take off the TV and you go and sleep, or you just
go and sleep and hope for a miracle? You wake up and go on WhatsApp and check some of them groups and see where's the story, you know what I mean?
Because you can tell if you get a message. All right. Nikolai?
But I feel for me it's a combination of a few of these answers, yeah, because...
all right, go ahead, let me hear.
If I lose in the first half, I'm fine. Around the 46 minutes, when we start back, 50, I'm annoyed, for sure. I will take off the TV if it's a fight and then we lose, and I don't watch them lift it up. From the time they do so, they turn the TV off.
Right.
But before that, what was the next answer?
Yeah.
Go for a drive and a walk. You
know? Take a drive. Change the channel.
I might change the channel before the 90th and I'll pay back. But if they lift up the trophy, I'm taking off the TV for sure.
TV for sure. You're done. You're done. All right, Andrew Suglad, you have a lot to go through. Eh? You are like you are pull a list out. 45 minutes. All right, this. All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna add more to the list apparently.
All right, go ahead.
So I was looking at all these things and I don't know which one to choose because I experienced all of them.
Wow.
But I never, to be fair, I never walk out on any game. You know, it's always so I have to go with the be brave and watch.
Right.
But I experience all the emotions and all those other things. Where I want to go and drive and run away, mash up TV.
But you never do it.
Nah, never do it.
So you actually sit down and watch the whole game?
Yeah, so yes.
So you sit down and watch PSG give all the 5?
And I'll sit down.
You watch every goal?
I'll die on the inside.
Hey, you are a real belly boy. You are a real belly.
Yeah. The Inter is giving a strong belly.
So by about the 4th goal, you know you lost.
Yeah. So I was already planning the drive. So that's why the other answers was coming. Which drive I'm going to take and angry music I'm going to listen to and thing.
All right.
You know a game for sure. I had to take off the TV. I know from America. Remember in June when they gave Brazil
7. No. You can't hope for no miracle there. That's no miracle.
Brazil, right?
But that's no miracle. That's no miracle. That's no miracle.
By the 3rd goal. I take off the TV and
I can understand that one.
All right. I'm trying to hear what the Barcelona man said, but I'm not hearing nothing in the background. When they lost 2 goals to 1. Oh yes, he told me he didn't watch the match. That's a common excuse. We take a short break. We'll be back.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. Feel it in the air. Football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
During a hurricane, you may experience flooding due to a storm surge or extensive rainfall. Here are a few guidelines in the event of flooding. It is extremely dangerous to remain inside a car when floodwaters begin to rise around it. 2 feet of water will easily sweep away most cars. Remember, most floodplains are 100-year plains. At least once in every 100 years, a flood will take place. If you are caught in your car, try to get out of the car immediately. However, you should never step into moving water, since even shallow water can knock you down and carry you away. Plan and practice an emergency escape route and make sure the whole family knows it. This message courtesy TTT Limited.
Hi there, I'm Sigoni Mohammed. You probably know me as your resident weather anchor. I've guided you through stormy days and sunshine, bringing you the latest updates and keeping you in the know. But there's so much more to me than just the weather. I'm here to tell you stories that matter most to you, to bring you closer to the truth and always keep you in the know. Because this is more than just a job. It's a passion, a commitment to our community to bring you the news with integrity and heart. Breaking news or a heartwarming story that makes you feel good. I'm here to keep you connected. So stay with us, stay informed, and let's navigate the news together.
TTT News, nightly at 6. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
The Mother Church of the Anglican Diocese suffered significant damage during the earthquake of 2018. Efforts are underway to raise funds to restore this national heritage site. You are invited to make your donations with monthly deposits at any branch of the First Citizens Bank, account number 2696950, Marval Road Branch, in the name of the Incorporated Trustees of the Anglican Holy Trinity Cathedral Restoration.
Welcome back. This is the 12th man here on TTT. Next up is the Fantasy Premier League. But remember, There's a 12-man hotline WhatsApp number. It's going to come on the screen shortly, 684-3324. 684-3324. Who do you want to send a message for? What do you want to say? We'll read it out a little bit later. So we look forward to that. All right. Brian Lewis, you don't like nothing with fantasy. You're married too long. You're not worried about that. All right, Brian. That's what you said. I didn't make it sure. You just tell us that you started married 39 years and you're still excited, so you don't need fantasy.
That's right.
All right. So I helping you out, you know. I'm your friend.
I appreciate that.
I am your friend.
I appreciate that.
I want to make sure you reach home safely. Whatever happens after that, that's your business. That's your business. Whatever happens. Nikolai, you a man looking like you're in fantasy Premier League.
Yeah, man. I enjoy the fantasy a lot.
You enjoy fantasy?
Fantasy football league on my phone on the game there.
You don't like fantasy normally?
I'm not as a real life kind of guy.
So you do have fantasies?
A little bit, but I isn't more real
what
life
kind of fantasy do you have?
Body football.
The man is budget, boy. The man was a budge. All right. Let's see how much points you have.
I think I'm on 372 points.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm in about 7 leagues. First in 3, second in 3, fifth in the last one.
In terms of the players that would have done good for you in terms of points, who has made most of the points for you? Any one particular player?
Well, when the season started, I had some of the new guys. I had Reinders in there, I had Wirtz in there, Salah, of course.
Yes, of course.
By the first, I had Watkins and Bowen as well. After game week 1,
Watkins.
Terrible performance on Watkins, Bowen, Wirtz.
Right,
Almost everybody saw a wild card in 2.
Okay.
And I brought in the likes of Haaland and a bunch of Semenyo,
right,
and those guys. So those are the performers for me right now. Haaland, Semenyo, Salah on the occasion, Ekitike, sorry.
From Liverpool, yes.
From Liverpool. So, and Reinders as well. So those are the guys that bring the points in.
So not bad.
Senesi as well from Bournemouth.
Okay. Andrew Suklan, how much points you have?
I have possibly no points. Because I'll tell you why. I registered and I never even checked my team, and this sounds like a broken record. For people who don't know what records are.
You must have checked it at least once.
I registered the team, I didn't check my points yet. I'll probably go when I go home.
That's not good.
That's terrible. And that's terrible. 2 years in a row now. If people look at the show and they backtrack the archives, you'll hear the same. If people know what records are, repeating. Nobody's in records.
Let's have a look at the table. Let's have a look and see how the table is doing here. Let's see who is in front in terms of the table. And there you're seeing over 400 points. So you would be
somewhere in the top 10.
Somewhere there. Somewhere there. That's the top 10 you see in there?
Yeah.
Right? Let's look at from the next set. There's the next set. And if you look at the next set, you're seeing in the next set you're seeing the man who is not here is in the next set. That's Marvin who's not here. So that's the top 20. He made top 20 this week. Let's look at the team of the week. There's the team of the week. There's the idea of the team of the week. The players who would have done extremely well this week. Let's see who is in and who is out. Alan. Everybody's gone for Alan because he's got some form. Alan is scoring. No matter whether they lose or they win or they draw, Alan's scoring. I think he scored 2 goals in the Champions League again. And of course, the Crystal Palace, the only unbeaten team. Could you imagine that? Crystal Palace is the only unbeaten team. As I say Crystal Palace, I should say today is a big day for Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago's youngster, Rio Cardines, made his debut for Crystal Palace in the European Conference League. He came off the bench to play his first match in the European Conference League, and his team won by 2-0. So congratulations to the youngster, 19-year-old Rio Cardines. We're going to need him next week, obviously, for Trinidad and Tobago. So it's really good for him to get that sort of experience. That has to be really good news for Trinidad and Tobago. So well done to him, and long may continue. He said it's a surreal moment for him to come off the bench in that atmosphere. They were playing in Ukraine, right? There was the game was, and so well done to him, playing his first match at the senior level for Crystal Palace. And he plays in the European Conference League and they win. First time that Palace would have won a game, right? First time. All right, let's go back to the transfers out. There are the transfers out. Salah! Oh boy, the people getting rid of Salah. It's too much, 14 million or something for Salah, you know. Pedro, surprised about that one though, Pedro for Chelsea. And then there are the rest of the players, all right? In terms of that. All right, so let's go to the news segment. We have a new segment. Let's go.
Go upstairs, pack your bags. While you at it, call a cab. It's obvious.
I feel it with the combination of Carlos and Wayne Cunningham put this segment together. I don't know who put it together for who, obviously. But anyway, it's about finding out from any of you all if you have a friend who is busted. In other words, if you have a friend who really supports another team. You know, some people they say, you know, I really like Tottenham, but deep down in your heart, you know that person don't like Tottenham. They like a next team, but they don't want nobody to know. You have any friend that think like that? Or any family members, Brian?
That say they like Manchester City, but really they like Manchester United, but they don't want nobody to know because United did lose so much, so they hide it in a closet then. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know a couple of people say they support Trinidad and Tobago, but they really don't support Trinidad.
Oh, say they support Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah.
There are many people like that, actually.
Yeah.
In many sports.
I find people more loyal when it comes to football. Arsenal fans long time.
Yes.
Liverpool,
long time.
You know what I mean? But the people I know who kind of shifty like that is Trinidad and Tobago. Especially when it looked like it win, they want to get in the stadium more than everybody else. But then if the results go off, like we sometimes they say, but you see what I tell you, boy, I tell you that. They switch fast. So that's going on for years. So I know they are not really Trinidad and Tobago. What's the name of the segment?
The name of the segment is behind the scenes. Behind the scenes.
I hope they're watching
busted.
I hope they're watching
They get
this
busted.
program. I hope they're watching this program.
Nicola, you have any friend they want to bust?
Yeah, I wouldn't call any names.
No, you don't call no names.
But a bunch of my schoolmates and I were in a group chat.
Right.
And every weekend, everybody will watch the football. And the rule is, if your side draw or lose, you're not supposed to talk until the next time your side play and win.
Wow.
So you can't send any messages in the group chat. If you send it, the admin could delete your message, right? So one guy in particular is a Manchester United fan.
Yes.
But every time Manchester United lose and Real Madrid win, he like to talk. So
because you can't talk at all.
Exactly.
There's a hard rule. You put a hard rule on the man there.
Nah. So you really feel like he is back Real Madrid and a little bit like to push the Manchester United
okay, you can't talk about your team or you can't talk at all.
They can't talk, period. Once your team lose or draw, you're not
Declared
supposed
team.
to. Yeah.
So like in this thing, what is his declared team? Manchester United?
His declared team is Manchester United.
Okay, I got you.
Ah,
So
okay.
once Manchester United lose, you're not supposed to talk.
I must say that's interesting. I like that rule actually. That's a good idea actually.
Yeah.
Good idea.
But he must know himself.
It's a good idea. Here, what I like it for. When your team lose, don't talk in my ears. When your team lose, don't talk in my ears. When your team lose, don't talk in my ears. All right. I want to talk to Marianne and Wayne about that rule. I'll talk to them. I like it. Let me hear it. Let's hear you.
Yes, yeah. But before him say this, whoever come up with the song for this segment, you know, that man need a reason. That's the perfect song for it.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, listen, it have so much people I could probably bust right now.
Yes.
But I will choose the, gosh. It have two in particular.
Don't call no names.
There are no names.
Right.
But you know who you are. You're watching for sure.
Team.
So it's a Manchester United fan.
Yes. Again, boy?
Yeah. But this man supposedly supports my team, which is Inter Milan.
Okay.
And we had a nice, colorful discussion about that. And there's another guy which for international fans will understand the insanity with this. He's a Argentina fan.
Right.
But when Brazil wins,
He's a Brazil fan.
which is insane.
That is very insane.
Yeah,
That is a really query. That's two opposites.
We had a call out to the
That's two opposites.
That man is crazy. I already sold out the gender already. But that is something we had an argument for like about 3 hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand the logic behind that.
They are enemies.
And when Argentina win the World Cup, I remembered when he's sporting, and his Ronaldinho jersey. No disrespect to the Brazil fans.
Yes.
And that's what's going on with you, how you put on Messi jersey and whatever. And
something wrong with that man.
So busted.
Busted.
Yeah.
All right. On that busted note, with nothing more to hear in my ears, we take a break.
Now listen, this is your boy Carlos Edwards, and as a former player, let me tell you, it's the fans, man. The fans that made the game, that's the 12th man right there. And when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago, There's only one 12th man you need to know. My guy, Andre Errol Baptiste on TTT, is bringing the heat every Tuesday.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
Clean water is the primary product you will need after a storm or hurricane. So it's vital you store water for drinking, cooking and washing, at least 5 gallons per person per day. To prepare and store your supply, clean all with a bleach solution of 1 tablespoon chlorine bleach to 1 cup of water. Pour out the solution and rinse well. Fill the cleaned jugs with filtered boiled water and cover securely. This provides your drinking and cooking supply. Ensure that you store 2 or 3 gallon plastic containers of frozen water in the freezer for makeshift refrigeration during power outages. For personal hygiene and washing up, clean and fill all available buckets, sinks, bathtubs, washing machines and other containers with fresh water.
This message courtesy TTT Limited.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fijani. Oh, shun mi ba.
We supply and install SBC vinyl flooring for residential and commercial spaces. Our exceptional customer care, backed with a 10-year warranty, is what sets us apart. Visit our showrooms or call to book your free site visit. We'll bring samples, measure your space, and provide a quotation. With over 20 colors to choose from, we at Floors WD are ready to help you transform your space into something special you'll enjoy for years to come. We hope to see you soon.
This segment is brought to you by Floors WD.
Wesa. Next up is the very popular Wesa segment brought to you by Floors WD. You can floor it and get all of the best floors. Ask for Brent or Dennis. Remember, continue to send your messages and we'll read them a little bit shortly, I should say. All right, let's have a look at who would have had Wesa moments. Some of the players, there you see the list of the players from the various teams. Gabriel would have scored the winning goal for Arsenal. Danny Welbeck, former Manchester United, former Arsenal player, would have scored the goals that buried Chelsea. And then, of course, Nketiah from Crystal Palace, another former Arsenal man, who would have inflicted the goals on Liverpool. So top 3 men, all were former from all Arsenal related, as the case may be. Then they go to Igor Thiago from Brentford. He's a Brazilian. So Brazil, maybe they might get us under 40 eventually. Who knows? We'll see. Erling Haaland continued to score a lot of goals. Robert Lewandowski, although he didn't play for Barcelona, he didn't start for Barcelona in their game. He scored 2 goals. And then, of course, Alvarez, as we mentioned, for Atletico Madrid, who scored a double against Real Madrid. All right. Floors WD. Wesa moment. All right. Let me start with the Inter Milan man first. Andre, if Inter Milan go ahead and win the Champions League and also win Syria, who would you call, and let's say your version of Wesa?
I would call my AC Milan, actually no, my Juventus partners who was laughing at me after the final. It had a whole bunch of them. They found me in person. I don't know how they end up in Trotters. I wonder what you give in Trotters. And they were there. I don't know what they was doing there because their team was nowhere around, doing, match fixing or whatever they do. And,
match fixing, what you so?
And they were the first to remind me and send me little messages and say, what happened. Typical Trinidadian style. Though. So they would be the first people to call. For the Wesa thing, oh gosh.
Let me hear your Wesa.
Gosh, I had to come good with the Wesa. This is we win the Champions League and the Serie A.
Of course, yes, both titles.
Like, Wesa, after the mess we make last season, I could take that this time.
All right.
Simple and to the point, yeah.
Nikolai who's this first time on the 12th month. So Nikolai, from your perspective, same question. Same answer, sorry, I should say, and same question, related. Real Madrid go on and win La Liga, and Real Madrid also win the Champions League for the 16th time. So, yeah, in other words, we're telling you had a bad New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? That's where basically, you realize that's how Real Madrid costing you money, eh?
That's right.
All right, but I don't tell you not. But nevertheless, so because there was a guy inside of here who is want to give away a Real Madrid jersey, no, a Real Madrid jacket. So all the females, once you're a female and you don't support Real Madrid, I'm not going to call his name, right? Right? I could call your name, yes. Right? But right? So that's basically it. So anyway, you're not going to get a jersey, obviously, right? Or a jacket. But the point is, let's say your version of Wesa, and who you would call?
I have one partner who never fails to call my phone if Real Madrid loses a match. However, he failed to answer his phone yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
He's from Barcelona?
Yeah, he's a Barcelona fan.
Oh, why are they so...
He failed to answer his phone yesterday. I don't know if it lost, if it's... I don't know. But if we go on to win the Champions League...
Right.
We do it again.
You better go WhatsApp him.
I will have to.
Or send him out Instagram message.
Phone might be off. I might have to find him. If I catch him in Trotters,
yeah. Bran, Arsenal go on and win the Champions League and also go on and win the Premier League. Let's hear your version of Wesa and who you would call.
Well, if that happens, I gotta say Wesa.
Don't overdo it. Why you overdoing it? Why you overdoing it?
Because I will tell you, that is what I will say.
But you're dragging it on too long.
No, because I'm calling you. Yeah, because here why I'm saying Wesa like that, right? You want to come after that. I say, after I say the Wesa, I was trying to do that. Wesa. Andre, that means they ain't going to fire a tiger.
No, I go get vexed. That you ain't. All right, I take that point. I take that point because that unfortunately is the bad side of this thing. Indeed. Anyway, all right. Have we any messages for any of these gentlemen here? Let's see. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Let's go to the barking dog segment. Oh. The barking dog segment, they put VAR because VAR is terrible. All over VAR continues to make ready. I don't know if it's the worst set of referees I've seen in England, or I don't know so much about Spain and about Italy, but I mean, VAR continues to make questionable decisions, and VAR was supposed to address questionable decisions, not be involved in the bad decisions. From your perspective, in terms of Spain,
I think in Spain, just like any other league or competition, there are a lot of decisions that they make that are fair and very much decisive. For example, we were talking about Alvarez's double kick on the ball last season, but some of them are a bit ridiculous. I feel like the toe on the line for a goal that very decisive.
Yeah.
Through off an entire game, through off an entire mood. I mean, Real Madrid went through it plenty last season, especially in most of the Clásicos that we played against Barcelona. Had a lot of VAR calls. And throughout La Liga, I mean, mostly I would say it in huge games or a lot of games that Real plays, but it's something I guess we can't really get away from, you know.
Brian, any questions on the VAR system, the video system? Do you like it?
No, but I mean, it's a modern thing, but what I don't understand about the VAR is why they keep making all these terrible decisions as compared to, I'm saying they don't make these bad decisions when you watch NFL.
I know. I think about that too. The NFL tends to always get it right.
Correct.
For whatever reason it is, the NFL gets it right.
Correct. You know, I could never understand. You know, I don't know if it's just a reflection of even though they're behind the technology, the referees just ain't good, or the quality, you know what I mean? Because remember with technology, it's garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, true. All right, let's go to let's have a look at the WhatsApp messages. Let's see. Some of the WhatsApp messages that have been sent. This one says, Earthquake. That's the man name or woman name. Andre, Arsenal finally got VAR to work for them by adding 7 minutes plus extra time to win games now.
They're saying that's a conspiracy theory. Right?
Yeah, that's then he goes on to say, Manchester United fans boiling down like Baji. These days, they team like the West Indies. They're inventing new ways to lose matches now. Wow, the man licking up the West Indies. Brian Lewis is the best Arsenal supporter ever. He is realistic, unlike Andre, not Andre, but he's not so class, unlike me.
You will clarify them.
And then you want only one team in London, but I bet all Arsenal supporters will be back in Chelsea versus Liverpool on Saturday.
Never happen.
The answer might be yes.
The answer might be yes.
Yes, because if Chelsea beats Liverpool, and Brian, you're right. If Chelsea beat Liverpool
and you will win,
and Arsenal win, Arsenal go on top of the table.
Let me tell you something. I come from the old school, right?
Go ahead.
Way back when Arsenal players used to drink and eat and lime, right? That's what I tell you how long it all giving them is. You see Chelsea, Tottenham, the person with Arsenal is a North London team. So if you ever went to London, it have Chelsea, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, all them. You see when it comes to Chelsea, in particular, Tottenham, it want no way. True Arsenal fans, well, they dying out now, right? That old school, it don't matter. They prefer to lose than Chelsea win, and that's a fact. It's the same way with a team called Millwall. Millwall playing quite down there. I interact with Millwall people. They do business. They don't support no London team other than Millwall.
Well, I hear you, but in this case, I don't mind because I want Arsenal to go to the top and extend the lead. I'll get Chelsea the black.
You can't look for a fake thing. You want.
What we want fake thing? The match.
Win and win.
It's a match.
Let Arsenal win on merit.
I had to check you for busted. I had to check you for busted earlier. I had to check this man for busted. Earlier, busted. I think you better go to the busted music because I'm getting suspicious here. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back.
Take a dope test. You're finding Arsenal.
No.
Chelsea.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. Feel it in the air. Football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here. Are you prepared?
During the hurricane season, it may become necessary to evacuate your home. As a precaution, familiarize yourself with your electricity main box. Before evacuating your home, turn the main switch off and shut off any gas supply you may have at home. On returning home, do not enter a building that's still surrounded by flood water. Fully inspect for damage. When turning on the switch, stand on a dry, non-conducting object such as a tire or wooden bench. If electric outlets and appliances have been underwater, have a certified electrician check your wiring and appliances before using them. Check for any debris or wildlife that might have entered your home during the flood. Use a long-handled implement such as a rake or broom to probe. Throw out food and beverage, including canned and bottled goods that might have been in contact with flood waters, and do not drink tap water unless the authorities say it is safe. This message, courtesy TTT Limited.
Carrie's Kitchen, powered by National Flour Mills Limited, Ibis, Lotus, Lion, Good and Natural, Edward B.B. Harry, Champion, Indie, Caribbean Flavors, Correga Garden Supplies, Food Hall, Excellent Stores Limited. TTT News, nightly at 6. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
All right, we're rolling back time here. We're only going to roll it back with the man who has never been here before, Nikolai. Nikolai, your best moment as a supporter of Real Madrid. Which moment stands out when you look at all the moments that they have had?
I have two.
Sure, okay, two is okay.
The most recent one, because the first one I feel like is a bit more. The most recent one was watching the 2024 Champions League campaign when we beat Chelsea in the knockout round, because I was in Hot Shots watching the game.
Oh, okay.
It was the second, was it 24, 23? I can't remember, but it was the second round, second leg of the knockout stages.
Might be 23.
Yeah, and we were losing. Whole game, we watching the games, you watching the goals scoring or whatever. There was this guy, he was in a yellow Chelsea jersey up in front of the screen making noise. Whole game, I in the back, I quiet. Can't make a note.
Yeah.
When Madrid hit the Trivela and Rodrigo equalize, make noise, the whole shut down the whole Hot Shots. That was one special for me. But when we won La Decima, I was a youngster, won La Decima. I was watching it at home with a bunch of my friends, and I don't know what take us, just joy. I have a Real Madrid bandana, a Puma jersey, take out the bandana running through the streets in St. Joseph, barefoot, up and down in the road. That was one of the best times I ever had in terms of support.
Barefoot or
barefoot? I have on my jersey and my pants, barefoot, no
Right.
slippers, nothing. In the streets, you run up and down, up and down, up and down for about 10-15 minutes.
So long?
Yeah, just making noise.
Good experience. Brian, a different sort of question in terms of rolling back the years. How you feel a team from the era of Manchester United in the days of Rooney and York would have fared now in the English Premier League? How they would have fared? How they would have done?
You mean a Ferguson team?
Yeah, Ferguson team would have, how they would have, in this new environment with this low block and this the different type of goalkeeper, and how they would have fared.
I believe that coaches at the level of Ferguson, that's why I like Angelotti and these guys, even though they're younger people, and they're adaptable. They're at a different level. They have a way of looking at the game, and they would have gotten the necessary support staff around them. So it's technology, they would have gotten that. So I think that, well, I could just speak with Manuel Ferguson,
yes,
even Arsene Wenger. I mean, even think they would have adapted.
Right.
But I wanted to just tell you, the highest point for me is not, although it's Arsenal, every time they win the FA and the English Premier League, but for me it will always remain till I die. The high point in football for me is Trinidad and Tobago qualifying for the World Cup and the draw against Sweden.
All right. From your perspective, quickly, Mourinho, and as we talk about Mourinho, we're going to put up the schedule of matches coming up. Mourinho, how you would have adapted in this time, Mourinho?
Mourinho is the kind of guy, as you said, a lot of coaches adapt. We did see he had some trouble adapting, because he went to Fenerbahce, he left there, now he's back in Benfica. So, he had that spark for a few years in the early 2000s, and I suspect, a lot of his staff, he had a very good analytical team behind him. But ever since that team split apart, people don't talk about that team.
All right, time is again. Quickly, Chelsea against Liverpool. How it's going to go? Let's win or lose?
Chelsea win.
Chelsea win.
Chelsea, Liverpool? Liverpool. Liverpool.
I know, we know. I'm checking that, I'm checking that. All right. This has been the 12th man here on TTT. Much thanks to Coca-Cola. Much thanks to Floor WD. Goodbye.
Involved Man, brought to you by Coca-Cola.
This is TTT. Live for local.
Hello, I'm China Haynes. Welcome to the latest episode of This Week in Barbados, your roundup of the top stories for the past week. Prime Minister Mia Motley has given the assurance that Barbados will continue on its path of positive transformation while addressing day-to-day issues that impact on its citizens. She was addressing a town hall meeting for Barbadians in New York. Rachel Agard has that story.
Prime Minister Mia Motley says the mantra now has to be about continuing to tackle the major transformational issues while focusing daily on the small things that make a difference. She was addressing a town hall meeting in New York as she tuned in to some of the issues facing the diaspora.
It is the small things when mushroomed can become the big challenges that prevent you from moving. You know, they say you have every problem in the world until you have a health problem. It's the small problems that cause the irritants. It's the small problems that cause the blood pressure to go up and the frustration to come. And it's the small problems more often than not that are resolved not by money, not by legislation, not by any of those things alone, but by the combined effort of that with the mental changes and the mental acceptance and the personal behavior that comes as a result of those mental changes.
Meanwhile, Consul General Lorenzo Harewood says when he took up the position, there were a number of gaps that needed to be filled, including not only quantifying those in New York as the diaspora, but also qualifying them.
For the first time, perhaps in the most recent history of the consulate, we've included data to the extent that now we can tell you quite confidently that the highest category of persons coming through the office are registered, or retired, sorry. The second are persons in the health and medical sector. The third are persons in the education and research section. I can tell you that 64% of the persons we engage are female in terms of seeking our services. I can tell you that the largest, the most frequent service that we provide is the renewal of passports, followed by the application for citizenship by persons under the age of 40.
Prime Minister Motley urges those in the diaspora to do their part as they continue to look after their fellow Barbadians.
Strict measures are in place to ensure criminals or other unwanted persons do not sneak into Barbados under the guise of the free movement of CARICOM Nationals regime, which officially starts next Wednesday. Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams says criminals with records will be flagged before they even get to Barbados. He was addressing the Barbados Labour Party's Christchurch East and South Joint Branch meeting, where he said the free movement will not be a free-for-all regime. Our Anesta Henry has that story.
Barbadians who are fearful criminals will rush to the island when Barbados joins 3 other CARICOM states to implement free movement of their nationals from October 1st have nothing to worry about. This assurance is coming from Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams. He says part of this managed migration captured in the draft immigration legislation is making it easier for desired people to call Barbados their home. But Minister Abrams says criminals are usually stopped and sent back on the next flight to where they came from.
If you are a known drug dealer in your country and you come here, you'll be stopped at the border and said, you are not a permitted person. Go back. If you do not have those strikes against you, if you are not subject to deportation order, you're not flagged as a person who's prohibited. If you got a conviction, if they suspect you're involved in narcotics trafficking, if they suspect that you're involved in insurgent activities, whatnot, if you're on a watch list, right? Once you're not one, then people, hey, come and work, come and stay, come and enjoy yourself, go and come again.
And Minister Abrams is also issuing the reminder that only Barbadians cannot be denied entry.
The only body who has a right as of right to come into Barbados is a citizen of Barbados. That's the only person. Everybody else is subject to permission from the country. So even the persons who are coming in on the free movement, that's St. Vincent, Belize, Dominica, right? And Barbados is the fourth country. Yes, you can come if you are an acceptable person.
Those who will be allowed to enter Barbados under this new arrangement will have a right to live and operate in Barbados as a Bajan would. They will also be allowed to bring their families once they too are acceptable individuals.
We have a reciprocal arrangement. If a Bajan decides to pick up and go to Dominica, the same courtesies will extend to the Bajan. If, however, you breach our laws while you're here, you'll be deported. And you can't come back until that deportation order is lifted.
According to the CARICOM Secretariat, representatives from Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines met on Thursday, September 18, 2025, to further coordinate, update, and discuss steps towards full free movement come October 1st, 2025.
The rapid U.S. military buildup in the southern Caribbean Sea continues to raise concern, especially amid limited communication between Washington and Caribbean governments. Our Crystal Hoyt joins us now with those details.
The U.S. State Department did release a statement claiming the operation is aimed at interdicting drug trafficking. This is despite the fact that most of the seaborne drug shipments destined for the U.S. typically transit through the Pacific, not the Atlantic, where the American forces are currently concentrated. The Caribbean, while welcoming the U.S. assistance, is calling for more dialogue. Regional foreign ministers, including from Barbados, jointly wrote to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in an effort to discuss the situation. The latter called for assurances that any military action targeting Venezuela would not be undertaken without prior consultation. To date, there has been no response. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Kerry Simmons says that if drug interdiction is indeed the objective, then it would be a welcomed intervention given the growing impact of not only drugs but also illegal firearms on Caribbean countries and the well-documented link between the two. However, he emphasizes that a partnership with the U.S. is preferred rather than its unilateral action. Currently, 7 U.S. warships, along with a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, are stationed in the region, manned by more than 4,500 sailors and Marines. Minister Simmons says he is not in a position to confirm exactly how far off the coast of Barbados the vessels were, but expresses concern over the escalation in recent weeks. Now, if you recall, 2 weeks ago, the U.S. Navy killed 11 people aboard a vessel they claimed was carrying drugs. President Donald Trump suggested the boat had departed from Venezuela and was linked to the Tren de Aragua gang. And only this week there was a U.S. strike on another boat, reportedly killing 3 people. However, in both instances, there was no standard apprehension procedure, no attempt to capture those on board or verify the drug cargo. When I asked Minister Simmons if that set a dangerous precedent, this was his response.
The truth of the matter is that while we can accept and appreciate the need for there to be a strong and decisive action taken against drug cartels, no difficulty there. But there is a thing called the rule of law. It exists in the United States of America, in every state of the United States, and it exists in every state of the English-speaking Caribbean. And we cannot approbate and reprobate at the same time. Now, unfortunately, in this matter, the U.S. has not condescended to share any intelligence with us, to the best of my knowledge. So what we get is a report on social media to say that a boat was blown out of the water. And I have no idea, independently of who was on the boat, what was on the boat. If it is that this is a course of action to be taken, there should be the pursuance of the normal route of arresting people, bringing those people who are suspects to trial. After trial, if they're found guilty, then convict. But what we cannot do is to arbitrarily execute.
He says his fear is the loss of innocent lives if mistakes occur.
This region sees a lot of fishermen pursuing their livelihood, obviously at sea and oftentimes on international waters. This region has seen the use of international waters for the movement of our cruise ships and part of the tourism experience in the Caribbean. This region sees our own people moving from country to country, crossing the international waters. And so therefore, for those real purposes, it is very important that we avoid mistakes and missteps.
Minister Simmons, who is heading to New York for the UN General Assembly, is hoping to use the opportunity to engage with the U.S. on this matter.
A transformative 6-month program aimed at preparing Barbados' youth for success has nurtured 1,323 participants. It's the Preparing Today for Tomorrow's Challenges program, which was established 10 years ago and is spearheaded by the University of the West Indies Global Campus. Now, it is expanding to all secondary schools for the 2025 to 2026 edition. That's according to the campus officer of Alumni Relations and coordinator of the program, Sandra Griffith-Carrington. She was delivering remarks at the launch of this year's program held at the St. Michael's School. There, she also revealed 26 participants successfully completed summer internships organized by the alumni office team, with 92% of employers lauding the performance of the interns.
And specifically noting how they were pleased that the interns exhibited a high degree of soft skills, especially team working, collaboration, time management, critical thinking, conflict resolution, and emotional intelligence. These employers were eager to offer permanent employment to our graduates. Remember, 92%, we're going for the 100. However, only 3 students seized this opportunity. The others opted for further their academic pursuits.
The program is designed to provide students aged 16 to 19 with crucial soft skills, preparing them for both the workforce and higher education. Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Global Campus, Dr. Francis Severin, says it continues to focus on helping students become role models.
And I always say that we have to nip things in the bud. This is what Sandra Griffith-Carrington and the team, the dedicated team of teachers and the sponsors are engaged in. We are nipping the whole process in the bud. We're not waiting for people to go astray. We're not waiting for people to depart from the straight and narrow. We are guiding them and shepherding them at the beginning.
The Barbados government continues to boost its efforts to get more self-employed people to contribute to the National Insurance Scheme. To this end, the National Insurance and Social Security Service launched a self-employed unit at the Radley Court Centre, Upper Collymorock in St. Michael. Our Anesta Henry has that story.
The work of this self-employed unit at the Radley Court Centre, Upper Collymorock, St. Michael, is about empowerment, accessibility and protection. Established with a full cadre of staff, the unit ensures no worker is left behind in the social security system. It is the beginning of a new journey for the National Insurance Social Security Scheme and every self-employed person who lives and works in Barbados.
All the scheme needs to do to make sure that there's a level of viability and that you can get benefits from your earnings is that in a particular year, you have contributed not less than $1,200. And we say not less than $1,200, not because we want persons only to contribute $1,200. Remember that your pension is going to be dependent on your level of contribution.
Self-employed individuals can pay contributions daily, weekly, monthly, or annually. The $1,200 minimum contribution must be paid by January 15th, and authorities are working on making it possible for people to pay their contributions online.
By next year, 2026, we expect that along with I think there were 8 benefits that were shown on the screen, employment injury, will be added. I spoke to that very specifically and directly when I spoke to the country in Parliament. And so the matter of employment injury will also be part of the benefit system.
And an individual can now be registered as employed as well as self-employed.
Your employment income may take you to a point. You may want to reach the maximum in terms of contributions. You are now able to add your self-employed earnings to your employment earnings.
Chief Executive Officer of the NIS, Kim Tudor, says self-employed people stand to benefit making contributions to the scheme in times of illness, maternity, or retirement. When income is interrupted and they're left without protection every worker deserves.
So what we did to strengthen the unit beyond the office-based staff, the NIS has introduced a cadre of national insurance field officers, and these persons will lead our community engagement. They are the face of NIS in communities across the island, guiding self-employed persons through registration, answering questions, and ensuring that protection is accessible and straightforward.
Research shows less than 15% of self-employed people contribute to the scheme.
Climate change is real and impacting countries in the Caribbean region. It's against this background that a renewed call has been made for Barbadians to join the Ministry of Environment, National Beautification and the Green and Blue Economy to reach the goal of planting more than 1 million trees across the island. It came from Minister Adrian Ford, who wants to ensure that Barbadian landscape remains clean and green. He was speaking during this year's annual Arbor Day celebrations at the National Conservation Commission.
Come on board with this noble effort. Come on board with the drive. Let us understand that the iconic group, the Merry Men, had a vision for beautiful Barbados when they sang that song. Let us equally understand that Cheryl Hackett, in her sweet, beautiful voice, when she spoke about beautiful and on spot, she was speaking about 254 acres of the National Botanical Garden, the 242 acres that we are developing as well. Because unless we put beauty in the whole conversation about Barbados, it will be spoiled.
Minister Ford says they began the tree planting process in 2019, following a call from Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley to plant 1 million trees across the island. Noting that hundreds of thousands of trees have been planted, he gave kudos to all who have joined the initiative.
I am happy to report to the country today that since we started tree planting, because there's an old saying that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one first step, a baby step, a nascent step. I want to say today that the journey to plant 1 million trees begin with just one tree at a time. So let us continue this journey, this trust, because Darwin will tell you that we have planted thus far over 600,000 trees.
September 22nd marks 70 years since Hurricane Janet struck Barbados in 1955. It came ashore as a Category 3 hurricane with 120 miles per hour winds, causing widespread devastation and leaving thousands of Barbadians homeless. 92-year-old Anita Daniel experienced Janet and was left with memories that will last as long as she lives. Our Ernesta has that story.
70 years ago, Anita Daniel was a married 22-year-old mother of a 2.5-year-old son and a 9-month-old daughter when Hurricane Janet wreaked havoc on the island. And like so many other Barbadians who experienced it, Miss Daniel remembers that life-changing event as though it happened just yesterday.
The night before Janet, there was a prize fight on Rocky Marciano and Archie Moore. I don't know if you know, but Barbadians, both men and women, we were hooked on listening to prize fight on Rediffusion. So the fight ended at about 1:30, and we went upstairs to bed, my husband and I, and then the national anthem came on about 2:30 and woke us up because we turned the radio on to the limit so that my husband would be able to wake up early the next morning.
Miss Danielle and her husband rushed downstairs and drew closer to the radio. They heard the announcement that a great storm was approaching the island, arriving in a matter of hours. Then their phones started ringing. Family members were calling to reaffirm the news about Janet's pending arrival.
And about 11 o'clock, this terrible noise of wind. I've never heard anything like that in my entire life. It was not just a morning song. The whole house was shaking. And then there was knocks at the door. We lived in Rogers Road, Government Hill. And the people's houses in Back Ivy, as soon as they lost their houses, they were coming by my house. Eventually we had either 11 or 12 men and women sitting on the floor. And my maid and I, we cooked for them.
The wind was so strong the house was rocking. The roots of a big bright fruit tree destroyed a section of the back of the house. The flaps in the windows disappeared, and the debris started flying into the house.
And we were busy moving the chairs up and down and feeding the people who were staying by us. So about 4 o'clock, the wind died down and people started moving. And then, to our surprise, the wind came in the other direction, and it was like stronger than the day before.
Ms. Danielle says the days, weeks, and months following Hurricane Janet was a sad time for Barbadians. No water or electricity for 3 months. Her family had to make do with 3 oil lamps. Her maid lived with her for 4 months. Her house was destroyed. That's one of the things that has also stayed with her, helping other families weather that storm.
The Trinbago Knight Riders have claimed the 2025 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League title last night, defeating host Guyana Amazon Warriors by 3 wickets in a thrilling final at Providence. With this win, TKR now hold a record 5th CPL title. Winning the toss, the Warriors opted to bat first but could only manage 130 for 8 in their 20 overs. Iftikhar Ahmed top scored for Guyana with 30 runs, which included 3 fours and a 6. On the bowling side, Sarabor Net Travalkar impressed with figures of 3 for 25, while player of the match Akil Hossein took 2 for 26. In reply, TKR reached 133 for 7 in 18 overs, securing the victory. Alex Hales led the charge with her top score of 26, while Hossein's unbeaten 16 off just 7 balls saw them over the line. For the Warriors, Captain Inram Tahir took 3 for 34, and Shamar Joseph added 2 for 9.
Got in, the short ball works. Leg side as well. And Monroe, he takes it and judges it well.
Oh, Jesus.
Magical. Massively.
Yeah! Oh, there you go, straight after another break. Yeah, trouble now.
It is wide and it is wicket. Iftikhar does not have enough. Saurabh Natravalkar, you have been outstanding.
So, for example, you've got to, first of all...
I've got to stop you here, Honourable Minister, because the wicket has stood. Straight to Shepherd. This will be, yes, the X Factor. He's got his revenge in Tahir, he's off. Has it carried? It has carried. That's a great catch from Moeen Ali. Oh, chance, this is a big one. This is huge. Shamar calls and takes. And a 6. Akil Hossein has taken the TKR to within 2 runs. They say that age is just a number. The older men of the CPL have become the golden men of Republic Bank CPL 2025.
There is now a new men's and women's champion of the Barbados Road Tennis Open Tournament. In the finals at the Wildy Gym in St. Michael, Shaquem Nurse pulled off a straight sets win over defending champion Mark Venom Griffith. to secure the $20,000 top prize. Additionally, Sheldine Walron showed her class to take the women's title and the $20,000 in the ladies' final.
Barbados Road Tennis Open final ladies first up. Sheldine Walron versus Rachel Smith in the pink shirt. First game, Smith came out firing, takes an early 4-1 lead. Could this be the year that Smith turns the corner and secures a maiden BRTO title? It certainly wasn't going to be a cakewalk because Walron also had her eyes on that $20,000 top prize. Beautiful straight drive. But with a little cushion in the scoring column, Smith would take the first game at 21-14. The second, vital, and Walron had to buckle down, and that she did, easing to a 9-4 advantage. Smith's back arm not dialed in. To let Walron back into contention would be a recipe for disaster, and Smith was feeling the pressure. The stage set for an epic third game. Walron showing her class, 21-13 then in the second. We're tied at 1 apiece. Smith, way too long. Everything on the line then in the decider. Both players calculating every shot. The exchange is gripping, to say the least. Unforced error, Walron. One of the best rallies of the contest, with the scores locked at 8-all. Defense mixed with attack. Loving the footwork and focus to keep the ball in play. Which way will it go? Walron finds the corner pocket. The momentum of the game changed after the mandatory switch of ends, and it was Walron who had Smith in a tangle. The serve equally as lethal. Walron can see the finish line. Smith consigned to defeat. Match point, Sheldine Walron coming back from a game down to defeat Rachel Smith and take home that $20,000. 14-21, 21-13, 21-13. What a performance. On to the men's showdown now. Epic would be an understatement. Shaquem Nurse in the blue versus defending champion Mark Venom Griffith. Nurse displaying maturity beyond his years, rallying well against the best in the business. Griffith not standing idly by, punching time and time again with that forearm drive, back in Nurse off the baseline. But whenever you're playing Venom, there has to be calculated risk involved, and Nurse ensured that he moved the champion around the court before a body shift that thrilled the hundreds in attendance. Boy, was he enjoying his time on court. Well, he repeated the dosage the very next play, moving light on his feet and flashing that forearm down the line. He leads 15-10. Fast forward, and Nurse lost the plot a little. Griffith coming back from being down 16-20 to draw a level at 20-all. Nurse with a bad miss. Now the pressure is at fever pitch. But with nerves of steel, Nurse garnered the 2 points necessary and took the first game at 22-20. The drive down the line, eye candy. Fine margins in this 3 best-of-5 matchup. Second game locked at 14-all then. Griffith, with some critical mistakes, leaves the door open for Nurse into the advertising. From 18-15, Nurse would pile more pressure on Venom, securing the second and leaving one last hurdle to clear for one of the biggest upsets in the sport's modern history. Griffith looking perturbed, and for good reason. 21-15 then to Nurse. The third was all style and flair from the young man. Anton Lil Man Danny will be proud. The balance and poise at the net, priceless. More of the good stuff. Welcome to Barbados Fashion Week. This one was for the photographers. On one leg, the body shift of the year. Game and match point. Griffith with the unforced error. And what a moment for Nurse. He has done what many have failed to do in major competitions. Defeat Mark Venom Griffith in 3 straight games. 22-20, 21-15, 21-15. Well done, indeed.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of This Week in Barbados. I'm China Haynes. Until next week, take care and stay well.
This is TTT. Live for local.